I somehow, as sad as a pandemic is, it's great for comedy.
Is it
People,
really?
people are, you know what it is? There's the old cliche, laughter is the best medicine. And then when the whole world is having a pandemic, they really look for laughs and they look for the type of jokes I do, like right to the gut. Nobody's looking for anything subtle right now.
Right, right. And everybody's miserable, as you say.
Everybody's miserable. Everyone needs a laugh. There's a lot of charity stuff going on, and I wanted to that all I gravitate towards that. Like you don't want to sit home and go, all right, well, what did I do today? I learned how to bake bread. All right, but did I help anyone else in the world? Did I reach out to anyone in the world? So after a few weeks of just basically figuring out what the world was, I go, well, you know what? Let me try to adapt and do something fun. And Jeff Beecher, who's was I don't know if I should use the word nagging. Let's just say suggesting for weeks. Why aren't you roasting your friends every night? Why aren't you roasting your fans every night? And I learned how to use Instagram Live, and I thought I would do a 15-minute experiment, and I did an hour, and then the next weekend I did 2 hours, where now it's a movement.
Right, and this is InstaRoast, which has been absolutely killing it on Instagram. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, Instagram is incredible in that you can go live with people anywhere in the world at any time. So I just sort of opened that app and suddenly had people from Iran, Lithuania, Mexico, India, almost countries that you don't even think have comedy. We're in quarantine and I'm just smashing them because on stage I can make fun of your haircut, your outfit, your shoes, but on InstaRoast I'm going into your quarantine.
Right,
I'm
right.
seeing how you live. I'm seeing your whole family. I'm seeing what you're eating. I'm seeing your dirty sweatpants, the mustard stain on your boobs. Like I'm seeing everything. So it's like it's a full roast. It's a meal. I only roast volunteers, so they have to volunteer, whether it's live on stage or on Insta Roast. They have to send me a request. So
Right.
once they do that, it's no holds barred. You can say anything to anybody. And I like the virtual roasting because it's all we have right now. And I think comedians have an obligation to cheer people up during this pandemic.
And you've had some celebs on as well as some randomers, am I right? Who have you had on?
Um, Everybody, let's see. It started with Snoop Dogg. We
And Nikki
had
Hilton.
Nikki Hilton and James Rothschild. We had Dana White came on this week and made a big charity donation, if I would roast him, to COVID-19 relief. We had Gilbert Gottfried, Bob Saget, Dane Cook, Joey Fatone, Brad Paisley, the country music superstar. So it's an incredible eclectic mix of randos. Like I don't talk to these people ahead of time. Everybody, whether you're a big star or just some regular folks in quarantine, needs a laugh right now. And it's a great equalizer in that I'm treating Snoop Dogg essentially the same way you're treating some guy in his house in Dublin.
Who's been your favorite roast victim so far?
The celebs are fun because they're willing to take a hit. But honestly, one day I just randomly got a request and I didn't know it until it came up. But there was a guy sitting there, his name was Doug, with a ventilator on his face. And he was in a New York hospital bed waiting to be taken care of, waiting for medical treatment with COVID.
With COVID, wow.
And I can't exactly remember what I said, but all he said was, "Make me laugh. I'm miserable. Please make me laugh." And I just started making fun of how he might have caught COVID, because he looked like he was kind of chubby. And I was just saying, "What'd you do? Eat a bad donut, or what'd you do? Lick the toilet seat at the airport?" It was just basically nonsensical goofy jokes to make this guy laugh while he was in pain. And then, of course, he's immediately inundated with comments of support, hearts in the margins, people just showing him love. And he did reach out to me privately through direct message. I found him, and he's like, "Thanks for the shout out, man. That meant so much." It was a week later. He's like, "I'm feeling pretty bad still, but I should be okay." And then he let me know that he watched the next week's InstaRoast from the hospital with two nurses who were cracking up.
No way.
So it's a nice bonding, healing kind of thing.
That's sweet. Have you ever, who's like been your least favorite roast? Has anybody been really sensitive or, thought they bit off more than they could chew?
No, luckily nobody's come after me yet. Let's see. Has anybody been mad? It's funny. When I do it live, I'm always a little afraid that I might get smacked. But the beauty of Instagram is if somebody's not taking it well, then...
Is there anyone you would actually love to get your hands on?
Man, I haven't had somebody really, really, really fat yet. Fat people make the best roasts.
It's easy target there, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, you can always take old fat pictures of me when I was 40 pounds.
Do you think, because I know a lot of comedians have been complaining about this, that comedy in general is just much tougher now because everybody's so fucking sensitive and you can't offend anybody. I feel like roasting's a little bit immune to that because the whole point is you're supposed to be offending people, who want to be offended or who volunteer, as you say. But are you feeling at all that it's comedy's trickier now in this super sensitive era?
It's funny you mention that, Ross. It's a really good observation. Here's what I think. I think it's more than roasting's immune to it. I think roasting is the antidote. People come to the roast. It's like medicine. We've all heard laughter's the best medicine. You would never want your medicine watered down. You want your medicine potent. And roasting goes to the gut. Roasting is like a pat on the back and a kick in the ass, right?
That's a good point.
So people are coming to this. That's why people are getting emotional. That's why people are thousands of people are requesting the roast or roasting in the comments or just watching because it truly is healing. It's interesting. I got a guy sitting in the dark the other, one of the first times we did it, and he was reluctant to tell me where he was, but I looked at his handle and he was in the Sudan.
Right.
And he was reluctant to turn the lights on. He was like whispering. And another guy in Iran. And the beauty of Instagram is that it can it's like it can seep into wherever there's light.
Right.
And if somebody in a dictatorship country decides that they want to see this, I feel like it's a mitzvah. That's
incredible.
I know it sounds corny, but it's a mitzvah because they wouldn't be able to see this on TV in those countries.
Right.
And it's almost, you think we're sensitive here. Imagine being in Iran.
Yeah. And why are people so sensitive? I mean, we live in a supposedly free country here. Shouldn't we be enjoying the freedoms and sort of, as you say, these countries you mentioned, shouldn't be looking at them and going, Jesus, you could live in a country where this sort of stuff's illegal. Like, why are people so sensitive?
All right, well, now, Ross, you're out of my pay scale. You tell me. You tell me what the hell's going on. The Republicans don't talk to the Democrats. The Republicans don't even talk to the other Republicans sometimes. There's people that want to go out and there's people that want to stay in and there's businesses that want to open, but the whole world is talking not to each other or they're talking at each other and nobody wants to hear the other side. So comedy cuts through that.
Right.
I get conservatives and liberals. I get young and old. I get mother and daughter, father and son. You get everybody. Comedy cuts through that like nothing else.
Right. And you mentioned politically how unstable it is here right now. What do you make of the whole situation? Are we fucked in general, or is what's going to happen when the dust settles from all this COVID stuff?
I think comedy will come back in a big, big way. I think live comedy will double because everybody misses it and nobody's missed anything. We all were so cavalier about everything. You know, people were complaining about, oh, I have to lock my phone up at the comedy show and this and that. Like, yeah, like we're all artists. And now that we've been taken out of your life, I think people will really appreciate art a lot more, comedy, music. And I can really only speak for myself and say that I am fighting the war against COVID-19 the same way our president fought the war against Vietnam. Safely sheltered at home.
From a distance.
Even 9/11, people were back on stage in a few weeks. So this is a whole other thing that no one has seen before. And 9/11, it was something no one will ever forget. But COVID it's a different thing. It's just different, but it's also really rich for comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, you always heard this before, tragedy plus time is comedy.
Right.
So now we're doing comedy in tragedy. We don't have the luxury of time.
Right. It's real.
People do it right now. When my friends text me, I FaceTime them back. And we need to make these connections. And I've been telling all my funny friends, even if you're not a professional comedian, even if you're just the funny one in the house, you do have an obligation to cheer everybody up.
Truth. Jeff, it's been magical talking to you today. I can't wait to see you back on stage and in person, but we'll definitely be tuning in on Instagram for the time being.
I hope I see you make a request because you seem very roastable.
Dare I ask? You know you can't offend an Irish person now, Jeff. There's no way. There's nothing you can say that could get you this skin, but dare I ask?
I can't offend an Irish person.
You can't. There's no way. Look, we're both bald. We both got the same facial hair,
I can do it with one sentence.
Go for it.
Long live the Queen.
Get the fuck out of here. You hurt my feelings.